What does humble mean? Humble means fertile soil. One of the best definitions I heard is it stands with the word humility. Humility comes from humolos, I think, and humolos is humus, which is fertile soil. So what does that mean? That means humble means that I'm soil of which an idea or a thought can be planted in me, grow, and bear fruit. So to be humble means to be coachable, to which I can absorb information, do something with it, grow up, and create value for other people.
Welcome back to the Man Maker Show. We are dedicated to helping men become stronger and more intentional leaders because the fight in every man's life is real and you were created to overcome. We know that hard times make better men, and through adversity, we find our inner warrior. Thanks for showing up and opening your mind in order to make your future greater than your past. Here's your host, Brad Wolgamott.
Hey, welcome back. B-Rad here, coming to you once again from Cabo San Lucas. Hope you're doing incredible. Welcome back to the show. Got a lot in store for you tonight, and as usual, I like to come at you strong because you're a man. If you can't handle strong, then you might just be a boy. And not that it's a problem being a boy, because boys turn into men when they make certain decisions. If something hurts your heart, it's probably because you haven't gotten tough enough. Right, it's a big thing today. Oh, that's triggering, or that's offensive to me, and you know the reason that happens is because you don't know who you are yet. And if you're mad at me already, you're like, well, I don't like this guy. Turn him off. But hear me out for a second. I should have no impact on your identity. I don't get a vote in your life. I'm going to tell you you're awesome. I'm going to tell you you're incredible. I'm going to tell you you're tougher. But if you're whining and someone's calling you out on that, if you're soft, if you're easily offended by people's words or triggered, it's because you have put other people in charge of who you are. Now, I'm sure you disagree with me, but why is it bothering you if someone you don't even know or barely know is saying something about you and is making you mad? Like, shut the F up. You don't get a vote on me. Who are you? Right? And that's why we spend so much time on the show talking about anchoring in. Who are you? Grabbing a hold of your identity, getting to a point where you're strong, knowing that other people cannot get past, right? This thick skin, soft heart, not thin skin, hard heart. It's thick skin. Things bounce off. I'm okay. Say what you got to say, but I know who I am, and I know where I'm going, and therefore I know what I'm doing to get where I'm going because I know who I am. They put this so strong, the thick skin, but the tender heart. So you're not just like you're going to be a bull in a china closet and be a jerk to everybody because I know where I'm going. That's not good either. That's one of the problems with men is that they overcompensate. And people call it bravado. To me, it's just ignorance. It's where they're trying to be all tough and macho and big and this, when in reality, they're covering up for a low self-image. A high self-image is someone says, I don't need to act like a big shot, but when you come at me, I can handle myself. So this Man Maker show really is dedicated to this topic, and I hope you'll just bear with me. All right, just hang in with me because my heart is only for you. My heart is only to make you stronger, to make you better, to make you more impactful, a better son, a better father, a better grandfather, a better partner, a better leader, a better influencer. I just want you to be better. So hang in there with me, okay? Tonight's subject is loyalty. And this is a really interesting subject in today's world of social media, right? I don't know how many of you guys had a chance to watch the Tyson-Paul fight, but it was pretty bad. And I felt bad. I felt bad for Mike, who, I don't know, maybe he's all part of it, so maybe I shouldn't feel bad for him. Maybe he was all part of it. But, I mean, clearly this was a social media gig. Right? And as much as I have great respect for both of the guys in the arena, to me it felt like a hype show. and it wasn't real, and it didn't endear me to either one of them, other than I liked what Jake Paul said at the end, that the real hero is not me or not Tyson. It's the military, it's the firemen, it's the policemen, it's the truck drivers, the ranchers, the plumbers, the people that make this country work. And he says, I see an awakening of people recognizing that. That endeared me, because you know what? He grabbed a hold of a bigger picture. And if you want to understand loyalty, you've got to understand these components. So I'm going to do my best tonight to get you to understand, because loyalty comes in your home, loyalty comes in your job, loyalty comes in the company you own or run or want to own, loyalty comes in your community, loyalty comes in your teams. And I'm a Seattle guy, right? So I got the Seattle Mariners, who I think the longest standing franchise that hasn't made it to the World Series. I mean, heartbreaking. And the loyalty is the big picture, but it's waning, because I don't feel like they really care about us, the fans, because they won't put the best product on the field. Same thing with my Seahawks. Same thing for a lot of things. Loyalty is a result of a couple of components, and I'm going to share with you, because if you're trying to build something, if you're trying to build anything, you're going to have to include people. And if you're going to build something significant, it's going to have to include hundreds or thousands or millions of people to be really significant. You have got to learn to find a way to create buy-in with people. This is not, you just can't get around it. And I will tell you that as important as you know what builds charisma, I think it's loyalty. I think it's important that you know what doesn't create loyalty. And let me tell you what doesn't create loyalty. Money, material things, cool cars, fancy clothing, fancy dress, you're hot or not. That's not going to create loyalty. These have nothing to do with it. Your looks, your status has nothing to do with it. Even though today in social media world, people try to create buy-in because of their Ferrari or their Aston or their sexy look or what have you. And I'm going to tell you something, that's the lost soul of today's world. Because frankly, no one's loyal to that person because of what they have. I used to have a lot of stuff. And when I went through my train wreck, no one gave a crap what I had. Nor should they. I was lost and confused, thinking that because I had a lot, I had loyalty. What an idiot was I. Because it has nothing to do with what I have. It has what to do with what has me. Right? It's not what I have. It's what has me. What controls me. What anchors my heart. And in the early days of my development and success and career, as much as I was making things happen, I was a crumbling foundation. And I was building it just fast enough to stay on top as the sand was eroding. And eventually the sand got the better of me. If you want to create loyalty, there are some things you're going to have to do. And again, should start with your family. That's the best place that your family, your wife, your husband, your kids, your children understand these fundamentals I'm going to share with you. These need to be part on your refrigerator, part of your prayer life, part of your evening dinners, part of your conversation. They need to understand what it means to be a Wolgamott or a Johnson or whatever you happen to be. Okay, so here's the first key that you got to grab a hold of. The greater vision supersedes the personal vision. You have to understand this. There has to be something greater than what your personal goal is. No one's going to follow you to get you your goals. Get over it. Every time I hear speakers talk about, I hear this on YouTube a lot. Please like and follow, because it helps me add a lot of subscribers. I'm like, I don't give a rat's butt about how many followers you have. That's not why I'm listening. And so why do you even say that? It's so stupid. You think someone's going to, oh yeah, I want to be part of that? No. You know why people are going to push like, share? Is when they feel they're being transformed and they want to share it with somebody else. Not to help you get more followers. The greater vision is making impact. The greater vision is for your family. The greater vision is for your community. The greater vision is for America. The greater vision is for the kingdom of God. The greater vision is for the Man Maker Show is for manhood. It's for the 40 million American children that don't have a daddy that's taken the time to raise their kids. It's for all of those that they feel discarded, they feel unvalued, they feel forgotten, and they have found love in all the wrong places. And as a result, they're lost and bewildered. And if you're one of those people, and I hope you are, please listen to me. I'm not mad at you. I'm not your judge. I'm not going to be some beat on my chest gorilla saying, get strong, rah. I'm going to tell you that you're great, that you can overcome. At the same time, there has to come a time when you grab a hold of the big picture about where you fit It's cool to be a part of something great, but it's better to be a great part of something great. Take a role. Jump into it. People are not going to follow you for your vision. They're going to follow you because of your big vision. And that's me helping men. When I was building my first companies, I was helping moms come home from their job, helping daddies be leaders of the home, to help people create financial self-reliance, helping people to get up and be strong and be bold and be confident versus whatever has been programmed in their brain by families and sometimes well-meaning but oftentimes poor-meaning people that are putting crap in your brain that end up becoming a train wreck of belief. I am passionately in an adverse position to that. I am going to help people shake that stuff. So you have to grab a vision and you got to make it known. And I'm going to talk in a later episode about how to build a brand, how to build a culture, a team. We'll talk more about that. But for now, I just want to talk to you about the fundamentals of loyalty. How do you create this in your life, in the organization building? So the second thing is, I call it ITP. Invert the pyramid, okay? Meaning, don't look to be served. Look to be doing the serving. Invert the pyramid, okay? Most structures are like this, right? Corporation, president, vice president, foreman, supervisors do all the work, all right? And everybody knows that they are working for the man, okay? It's one of the knocks against multi-level is that you got this pyramid, the person top and the people on the bottom, and everybody thinks it's a pyramid because of the structure. And frankly, every organization in the world has a structure, from the family to the church to baseball teams, football teams, everything has a structure. So that's kind of a garbage concept. But the problem is when leadership thinks that they are to be served. And if you want to create loyalty, you need to be the servant. You need to invert the pyramid and recognize you're at the bottom, and your goal, the size of your organization, will be based upon the capacity to how many people you can serve. Now, we all know we can only serve so many people, right? One of the most influential people of all time is Jesus Christ, and he picked 12 who ended up influencing billions, okay? So there might be something to that, if you will. And he lost one in the process, ended up with 11 loyals, and they all went to the grave, murdered or hammered. I think only one person died of natural causes of the 11, and the rest of them horrible, confessing that Jesus was real, that he actually did what he said he did and is the Messiah. That's pretty powerful testimony. Most of us are not going to be that strong. Probably none of us are going to be in that position. We need to take this mindset to where we are the servant. And I can tell you that I have made this mistake. So if you're making the mistake or you think I'm wrong, well, go ahead and figure it out. But I can promise you that the collisions in my life is when I got arrogant. I got to be careful I say this, but I've been on a few trips with some people that I invited on a trip. And it just seemed like they were there as, I don't know, an entitled tourist. Like I was supposed to just do everything, cook the meals, wash their dishes, do everything. And that when it came to clean up or things to make things or things where it had to be work and get things done, they would disappear. And all of a sudden they'd be on their phone or they'd be in the bathroom or they'd be cleaning their car, and yet everything else was work. And, from my perspective as a leader, I love to serve. I love the impact. So I need to own that piece and just continue to serve. But I can tell you that these individuals will not be great leaders because they think that they're supposed to be served. And I'll promise you, as soon as you think that you're the dude and you're supposed to be served because you have the title, I'm promising you've lost loyalty. You have lost loyalty. No one gives a rat's ass about you when you act entitled. It's the biggest knock against young people is, oh my God, you're so entitled, right? And I don't know about you. If I was 20, 25 and I heard that, I'd say, F off, who are you? Right? It would make me mad. It's just like when I was a young man, they picked on, my age for whatever the case may be. If that makes you mad, then make sure you're not entitled. Make sure you're the first to arrive, last to leave. Make sure that you're the biggest server. Don't be sitting on your phone when people are making dinner. I have this thing when I'm on a trip with I do a young man's trip every year with my boys and some friends' boys, and some people lost their dads, and I can remember teaching them this hard, and it came out hard because I was sick and tired of doing it. I was tired of cooking the meals, baiting the hook, setting the tent up, putting the sleeping bags down, building the fire, splitting the wood, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, there is always something you need to do. There's always a way to contribute. And as a mindset of a person that's trying to create loyalty is always look for the opportunity to serve. not the opportunity to say, I'm a big deal, serve me, because that will destroy your loyalty. My wife has this pet peeve, and it's a valid one. My wife doesn't exactly like to cook, and she doesn't like to do those kinds of things. But she does them for me and our daughter because she loves us. But if in any way we give her the sense that that's her duty and she's supposed to do that, it absolutely frosts her, and I get the fangs. And frankly, I probably deserve it. If I act entitled like you're supposed to do that for me, that's just crap. Well, obviously that's the case in modern day husband and wife, but it comes to almost anyone in the world. As soon as people think they're entitled, when people come to our house and she has to wait on hand and foot, she goes, do not invite them back. I am not their maidservant. They are a guest in our house, but they need to understand that we're all doing our part. We're all contributing. That doesn't make her a bad person. It makes her accurate and honest. Don't ever go to someone's house and just sit around. Man, find a place to add value. Go out the back and split firewood for them, God's sakes. Go out there and clean their driveway. Find a way to add value. If you're a guest in someone's place and you're trying to create a friendship and loyalty, then serve them, for God's sakes. Be the bigger person. This is how you create intense loyalty, is by thinking about them. I think about some of the new friends I've made in the last 5 years. My biggest goal is to be an encourager, is to add value to them, to love them, to praise them for honest things that I see. Because most things go unnoticed and uncelebrated. I don't want to be that guy. I want to let them know that they're amazing. Here's why. Here's what I saw. Here's what I see. Here's what I experienced. I want you to know that it's an opportunity to serve them in an area they're probably not getting served, and that's in their own heart, their own self-image, because they're going and going and going, and people just kind of go, yeah, well, that was nice. It's like my pastor who delivers these unbelievable messages every Sunday. And I see people get up, turn around, walk out, get in their car to go home or go eat the cookies or go have the little lunch they're having. And it kind of breaks my heart, but maybe that's a bit of extreme, but I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? Well, I can certainly let him know that was incredible. And thank you for taking hours and hours away from your family to prepare for that and study and pray. And thank you for the message because it impacted me. Let them know that you're grateful. Let them know that you've gotten something out of their message. Serve them. Be an encourager. Dude, that's what we do, okay? That's part of creating loyalty in a friendship. Right? Serve your kids, but don't entitle them. Right? Make sure they say please and thank you. Don't let them interrupt you at your house. You want to create loyalty, create rules, be consistent, treat your spouse the way you expect your kids to treat you and your spouse. Be the example, set that up. Third thing, take the blame, not the credit. Can you do that? This was hard for me because most of my life I felt overlooked, under-recognized, and it was just a self-image thing for me. It wasn't real, but I really had an issue. So when there was an opportunity to take credit, I freaking took it, right? I wanted to be thanked. I wanted to be praised. I wanted to say, oh, yeah, good job, Brad. I wanted to hear it. I lived for comments and applause. But that's because my identity was so broken. My identity was tied up in other people's opinions. And so when FOPO kicked in my life, it totally wrecked me. Fear of people's opinions. It wrecked me because it all of a sudden started controlling everything that I was about. Learn how to look for an opportunity to take the blame, not the credit. Learn how to celebrate someone's victory without having to take ownership that because of you, it happened. Let that happen on its own. Let people say thank you on their own. Let people come to that place where they can say, wow, that was awesome, thank you. Because the more you seek it, the less you're going to get it. Create that relationship, right? I understand the struggle, but just don't be looking for glory, because I'm going to promise you people feel it and they sense it. Be humble, right? Which is the fourth step, right? Be humble. I think we talked in past episodes. What does humble mean? Humble means fertile soil. One of the best definitions I heard is it stands with the word humility. Humility comes from humus, I think, and humus is humus, which is fertile soil. So what does that mean? That means humble means that I'm soil. of which an idea or a thought can be planted in me, grow, and bear fruit. So to be humble means to be coachable, to which I can absorb information, do something with it, grow up, and create value for other people. That's the idea. You want to create loyalty. Be the best student. Be humble. Be ready to share. Be interested in growing. Don't ever act like you've arrived. I mean, the best athletes, I remember Cal Ripken Jr. after whatever it was, 2,800 games or something in a row. And it was something ridiculous, just 100,000 plus 2,000 games. And he still said, every day, I still learn something new about this game. Be that guy. Be that person. Man, arrogance is maybe one of the things that irritates me the most is when I get around people that whatever, and even if they're super successful, the arrogance is so disunifying. It's so anti-loyalty. It doesn't want to make you knock through a wall for someone that is arrogant. It doesn't. You're just not interested in a self-serving leader. You're not willing to lay it down for someone that is all about who they are. That's why I think the last step is to be the hardest worker. Be the person. I talk about this almost every episode, but the nature of our brain is we overestimate how hard it will be. We overestimate the challenge, and therefore it creates a paralyzing response, a reflex of that. So what I believe we need to do is we need to go through a toughening experience, right? I just read a book called The Comfort Crisis, and the book talked about a concept called the misogi. And the misogi is an annual homage that you do, or trek, to where death is not probable but possible. And what it does is it forces you to disconnect from all the nonsense of life and focus on staying alive and getting the job done. Something so difficult that there's a 70% chance you won't make it. Right? Because nothing great happens out of easy. This is part of the rewilding. This was the things we did when we were kids, and parents were like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I remember this huge tree in the back of my yard. I mean like a big, huge evergreen, 100-foot tall. And on the very top, it's starting to wiggle like this. And I'm like, Mom, look where I am. She's like, oh my God, get down. Because, I was going to die. But that was a wilding. That was doing something that no one else could do. And I think that we need to get in that place to where we develop this it's tough. I might not make it, but what I can do is this. And then when I do that, what I can do is this. That's a toughening. Don't allow the brain to talk you out of it. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to go through as a man to make it happen? And the greater that wall that you're going to blow up, come under, or climb over, or go around, the greater that wall, the greater the man you're going to be. The more difficult, the more challenging, the more scary, the more obstacles. Books aren't written about people that won big events because they were the favorite. Books are written about the Rudy Rudikers that were too small but had a big enough heart. Books are written about the Patriot, the Gladiator, the Rocky, the people that were like, you're just a Joe. Brad Wolgamott is just a Joe. Just a dude that had a heart that wanted to win. And I have failed and failed and succeeded and failed, and I gotta keep going. Have I arrived? Not even freaking close. Do I want to change the world? Yes. Do I want to wake up men? Yes. Do I want you to feel worthy? Yes. Do I want you to feel responsible? Yes. Do I want you to feel a little aggravated? Yes. Do I want you to grind? Yes. Do I want you to be frustrated? Yes. Because I want you to be frustrated in a way that makes you desire to get better. Stop whining because nobody cares. Let's get up. Let's attack the day and go to bed exhausted. If you go to bed rested, you're losing. You want to work so hard that when you finally hit the bed, you fall asleep. People say all the time, Brad, you must be tired. I go, no, you have to be tired. No. You know why? Because saying I'm tired does not serve the goal that I have for my family. You know I'm tired? When this cheek hits the pillow and I'm out like that. I heard a great line the other day. I think it was on Yellowstone. The guy said, if you can't sleep when someone's snoring, you ain't tired enough. Right? If you're freaking tired, you can sleep through a train wreck. Maybe you're not putting enough out. Maybe you need to rewild yourself. Maybe you need to reset the barometer of what's tough and what's hard, right? And you know what's going to take to do that? Pain, struggle, adversity, all the crap that no one wants to do. What is aging? The aggressive pursuit of comfort. Yeah. So what's hard in your life? What's your challenge? What's your wall? What's your rhinoceros you got to find a way through and around? And if you don't have any, then you're dying. I'm sorry, but you're going backwards. It's the challenges, the weight on the bar that creates the strength. It's the resistance that makes you strong. And if you're working extremely hard to remove all obstacles of difficulty, you're already dying. You probably drink too much. You probably smoke too much. You probably sleep too much. You got to learn to stretch yourself. I'm working on right now a decision to get up early. Oh man, do I love my sleep. But it frustrates me if I get up at 10 o'clock, because I was up till 2 or 3, and I'm rested. I'm like, I could have got up and been tired. I could have got 2 more hours out of this day. That's part of the rewilding. That's like find those crazy things, that baseball field, impossible to build. Everybody says it can't be done. Building your company, building your business, building your brand. You know what we're trying to talk about, we're building here, is loyalty. And you know how you get loyalty? You be that guy. That people will freaking charge hell with a water pistol because they believe in what you believe in. They see the bigger vision. Not just following you, they're following the big picture. They're following your heart. They're following your example. They're following your willingness to be humble. They're following your willingness to take the blame when stuff goes wrong and pass the credit when things go good. That's what people will follow. You want to create loyalty? You want to create a brand that people want to follow? Embrace those things. It's not about your social media likes. It's not how good looking you are. It's not how fancy you are. It's not about your charisma. It's not about your charm. It's not about your fancy language. It's not about how sophisticated you are or the freaking color of your pocket square. For God's sake, it's about heart. It's about vision. It's about humility. It's about example. And it's about having a vision so big that people are willing to do what they wouldn't do because they believe in the place that you want to go with your team and your family. That's a huge impact. And that's your calling. You want to go to bed dead tired with a smile on your face and you wake in the morning going, that was a good night, good day? Then freaking empty yourself on the field of battle every day, serving, empowering, being humble, sharing the vision, waking up the dead, bringing heat to the people that are experiencing hypothermia, and wake up and say, let's go. Let's make an impact. This is where I'm going. You want to come along? This is what we're going to do. You want to be part of it? Let's go. You want to come with me? You don't? Okay, fine. Over there, sidelines, that's cool. I'm not judging you. My train stopped at your bus station. My bus stopped at your bus station today. You don't want to get on? Fine. I might circle back in a year or two, but you might not recognize me because my growth game's going to be strong. We're going to make a difference. And let them laugh. If they laugh, work harder. If they join you, work harder. It's the same result. All right? All right, there you go. Hope that helps. Dig in. I can't wait to hear back from you. Let's go. Bradley Wolgamott, Man Maker, out.